Simon, you made it 3 wins in a row in the Betfred Championship with a victory over at Dewsbury on Sunday. Looking back on the game, despite the number of changes you made, you must be delighted to come on the other side with that 3rd successive win.
Yeah, obviously we spoke straight after the game, didn't we, Faz? It wasn't a pretty win by any means, but 38-12 would suggest we were convincingly the better team throughout, which we were. A lot of changes, some forced, some obviously my decisions, and some late ones as well on the day, which all in all probably had a bit of a factor on the overall outcome in terms of performance. But look, it is what it is. We got some people, some valuable minutes, and we got the 2 points. You walk away from that and you move on to the next one.
Any injury news to come from that game? Any lasting?
Obviously just James Woodburn all. We'll check him. He's going to be a doubt this week, but obviously we'll give him plenty of time to see where he's at. Bit of a tight calf, nothing outrageous, but it's one of them quite finely tuned. He's a speed man in it, so you don't want to push them when they're feeling those things. Unfortunately, we had Joe Martin, who's been chomping at a bit to have a go at full-back, who's been doing a decent job in a utility type role for a few weeks. So yeah, opportunity for Joe to get his minutes, and Woody got a rest. Hopefully he'll be back in training Thursday today, yeah, so hopefully he'll be back in tonight doing at least a chunk of the session if he wants to be in contention for Monday.
And moving on to Monday then, as you mentioned, it's a massive game really in the grand scheme of the season. It's 3rd versus 4th. Televised game. We seem to have really good form in front of the Premier Sports cameras. It's York City Knights, the team that sit above us in the table. It's a chance to go 3rd, leapfrog them in the table. Does that ability and that chance to leapfrog them in the table give you that extra bit of motivation, or is it a big enough game in itself?
There's no extra motivation. It's a big game, full stop. It would have been whether it's on TV or not and all the rest of it. It is an opportunity to showcase Championship, which is great. I think we've done a good job of that when we've been on TV so far. Yeah, look, they're a good team. They got a tough game last week. Got beat by a very good Barrow team, to be fair, who scored some nice tries in that game, and they'll want to try and bounce back from that. We want to bounce back from what was a pretty average performance ourselves, win or lose. We're always talking about performance, so it makes for a good game. They're a good team, big set of forwards. Hopefully we can play a similar sort of game to last time, but keep everyone on the field for the full 80, and hopefully we come away with the same result. But it is a big game. It's one of them where the table in another 3 weeks' time, I think it will sort of have its definite 7 maybe that are fighting, I think. And as I keep saying, we want to be one of the teams that have got something to hold on to, as opposed to the ones that want to chase after it. But there's a real swing. If you lose a couple of games back to back at the moment, all of a sudden you're at the bottom of that pile. So we just need to focus on us. That's what's served us well so far this year. We'll have a quick look at them tonight and have a look at some of the threats. We know what they are. They won't play a great deal different from last time, a couple of personnel changes, but we know what to expect, and then that'll be a full-on game. It'll be an 80-minute, and there's going to be times where it's tough for us, times it's tough for them, and I think the team that manages that the best, the one will come out on top.
You mentioned the previous encounter over at the York Community Stadium, where we found ourselves behind and managed to fight back with that great sort of back end of the first half, second half performance. Is that something that you're keen to avoid this week, obviously, that you want to start better and really kick on from the beginning of the game and not leave it so late to come back? Yeah,
well, as I say, over that 80 minutes, each team has a say at some point. It's usually want your say to last longer than theirs does, whether it's in the first half or the second. Yeah, last time out it was a tough game, but on that day I felt like we played too quick and we moved the ball really well. So that'll be the aim for us, carrying the ball with intent to play it fast for the bloke that's following you. Our spine's in pretty good position at the minute, in a sense of their flow and their timing with one another. So hopefully we can move the ball around nice as well, and put on some plays that make them a bit vulnerable. But yeah, look, it's going to be a tough game. It's a tough ask. York are a good team, well coached, got a great setup, and they've bedded into Championship nice, haven't they, since coming up a couple of years ago, and they've done well. So yeah, looking forward to it. But again, it's still only 2 points on the line. It's not the grand final. If we were to lose it, we'd have to swallow it and move on. But it won't be for lack of effort and lack of preparation. We'll do what we need to do this week to be ready.
And the weather forecast seems to be kind. It's looking like there's a heat wave on the way, perfect summer rugby weather, and a perfect chance to showcase your skills and what we're all about in front of the Premier Sports cameras. You must be excited by that prospect.
Yeah, the Shay. I've been down there today and it's looking really good. Obviously it's just been relayed and it's all come through nice. It's bedding in nicely there, and it is going to be hot. Ozzy, the groundsman there, done a great job, and he was telling me 28 degrees apparently Monday. I'm thankful I aren't playing, but obviously it's going to be at 7:30, 7:45 kick-off, so hopefully it's cooled off by then and it will be lovely conditions for a good game of rugby.
We've had a couple of Monday night games on Premier Sports now. Do you feel like you've found sort of a perfect formula for dealing with that, with some of the lads working during the day and then having to play on the evening?
Oh, I think that's probably a question for lads, to be honest. The Monday night games we've had so far have been very different. Well, Lee at home and Barrow away. The Barrow away, that presented a few different challenges. The home game, it just felt like a training night, I suppose. Get the work done in the day, and then they have to eat, get themselves ready and get themselves down to the stadium to perform, which it'll be that this week. It's probably easier at being at home, I suppose, if anything, but now each time you play on a Monday, we get Widnes later on in the season. That'll be away. There'll be a bit more planning and a different sort of approach to their routines, if you like, moving into that one. But home games, it's quite a little bit easier for us.
And there was a bit of a rallying call last night at the Sports Forum about the need for the fans to really get down to the Shay numbers and back the team. Do you have a message for the dormant supporters out there, and any sort of words of encouragement you could get to say that, look, come back to the Shay, we are playing a fantastic brand of rugby and it's a great place to be on a Monday night?
I think you've just sold it for us, Faz. Yeah, look, as I'm from Halifax, really proud to coach the team. I know we're well supported, and I know there's a lot of difficulties for people at present, but I think if you're a dormant supporter and you just sat at home watching for the scores, I think you are missing out. I do think we're playing a good style of rugby, and we've scored some great tries and we've showed some real grit and resilience and togetherness at times, which has been really nice to watch. It's not always nice for me at the time, but when I watch it back later, you're proud of watching that blue and white team put them performances in. And I think we're seeing a lot more young people down at the Shay. I think obviously that probably bearing a bit of the fruit of Jack in the community, but it's going to take a long time before they become paying adults, and that adds to our gate, and then that adds to the overall club, doesn't it? And in each area we can get out and do a little bit more if we have more money, and essentially we want more support, and that puts bums on seats and all the rest of it. So it'd be great to get more people down. It's getting towards genuine summer rugby now, so you don't have to worry about the wind and the rain. You can get down and enjoy the next month or so. We've got a few home games coming up, haven't we, after that time away, so yeah, it'd be nice to see a few more faces there.